Hey everyone, it's Ryan Leonard with Wolfnest Property Management, and today we're going to be discussing why the cheapest property management company may not be the best fit or the best option. Um, there's an old saying, you get what you pay for, and that is 100% accurate when you're choosing a property management company. Now, I get calls in all the time. Usually it's from a little bit more price conscious DIY landlords who have been doing it themselves and been doing it themselves a very long time. And for the most part, it's run pretty smoothly, and either they just don't have the time anymore, or their portfolio has gotten to a point where they can't do it themselves and they need some help because things are really starting to fall through the cracks, vacancies adding up, or they just, they don't have the vendor network that they once had. So when I talk with those type of owners and they're like, that's just, too expensive. I always say, you're really getting what you pay for. And analogy that I always like to throw out is, I don't send my children to the cheapest daycare. And at the same time, I don't want the cheapest management company managing my $500,000, $1 million worth of assets. So something to keep in mind as you're shopping around that price is obviously important, but the service that you're going to be getting for that price is really what you should be looking into. So when you're interviewing a property management company, make sure that you're asking the right questions. So obviously they're going to be talking about, oh, this is our lower end package, this is the higher end, or this is our mid package, we have a tenant placement package. When you're going through and getting quoted, have clear questions as to what are they going to be providing, because again, if you're assuming that they're going to be handling all the maintenance, but that's not included in that package, you're probably signing up for the wrong package. So asking your manager the right questions is obviously one of the most important things to do when you're interviewing. Next one is expectations. This kind of goes in line with those questions. Now, if you sign up for a tenant placement program, most owners would assume that you're just going to find, screen, and place a tenant. But other owners or landlords may think that the rent-ready maintenance or the things that need to get done to the home are going to be included in that tenant placement service. That may not be clear, but you want to make sure that you have clear expectations of what all you are going to receive from that management company and that package that you select. Now, you're going to see a lot of companies who do some clever marketing where they say, oh, we charge a 5% management fee and we don't charge leasing fees. However, every year you're paying them $350 for a inspection or something along those lines. They're pretty much just rewording what they call the leasing fee. So make sure that you get a copy of the agreement. Don't just go off of their website or an email. Bottom line, that contract is going to be what you're paying. So ask for a copy of that management agreement and really go through and find anything that may constitute as a fee. And also there should be clear expectations lined up as far as what they will be doing or providing for you. And you're also going to get what you pay for. So obviously the companies that are going to be much cheaper, they probably have a lower, a lower overhead or, less of an operating expense, which means they probably don't have as many staff. And, your calls may go 2, 3, 5 a week without being returned, or your emails. They may be bouncing things from the tenants directly over to you to handle. So, when you're looking at that company, ask for referrals. Hey, can I talk to one of your current clients? Or how big is your management team? How many employees are there? How does your maintenance work? Do you have in-house? Do you use a network or third-party vendors? Asking those type of questions is going to help explain, okay, how do they manage 400 properties with only 4 employees? If it's only 4 employees managing that many properties, there's a good chance that you're going to be one of about 60 other clients that they're managing, and it's going to be kind of difficult to get a hold of them. So again, ask those right questions to find out what do they currently manage, how many employees do they have, how does their maintenance network or their in-house maintenance work. And bottom line, do not pick the cheapest. If someone is the cheapest, that's their, that's their strategy. They're just going to go out there and they're going to try to pick off the people who are the most price conscious. And, really they're going to give that type of service where the companies who are more of that mid to higher end range, they can charge that because they're delivering quality service. So again, I know it's going to be hard when you're interviewing property managers, but I like to put together almost a spreadsheet and say, these are the 3 or 4 or 5 companies I'm looking at. This is the management percentage. This is the leasing fee. This is the renewal fee. This is the sign-up fee. And then you can kind of put together your own net operating breakdown for each one of those companies. So I know it's going to be, you're going to want to go with the cheapest, but I can almost guarantee you that you will regret it if you just decide to, take a leap of faith with this company that is, charging significantly less than everyone else. Now, if you have any questions about our management services or you're not happy with your current manager, I'd be happy to discuss everything we went over today or even more in depth with you. So here's my phone number, here's my email. Give me a call. Love to discuss your portfolio and see if we could be a good fit for your property management needs. Thanks.